Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 176 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we are going to add more to the LTN network and prepare for our new bus. Enjoy. We've got most of the resources on our list here taken care of. Of course, just waiting on trains to come by, but we still need to get stone and bricks. And since bricks stack much larger, that's great for drones. And luckily, we already have concrete and clay on drones. But we also want to get these regular concrete bricks as well, which I don't think are on drones, as well as the standard bricks. And then we need to get a train for stone because it's just so large. Well, stone is being produced right here. It's actually being put on a drone. I mean, there's not much space here, but based on how big this station is, there's probably enough to do a swing around right here. And we can move this around if we need to, but I think it will fit. And we could do drones for the rest of this year. Oh yeah, we need a radar right there, of course. But requests continue to be made for the limited resources that we have. And luckily, nothing with residue, so seems to be working. Well, this seems like it would just barely fit. Let's just cut these for now. Well, as far as how much space we need for a train, whoops. Well, it survived somehow. Oh, I've got this backwards. No wonder that caused some issues. Well, it looks like it'll fit. Call this stone load. And let's see, I guess the stone can come in from the right over there. Let's set these to the limit of the train, which is 6 stacks in this case. And what about fuel? Is there any convenient fuel? I mean, kinda over here, but sounds an awful lot like a job for a drone. Let's go for a ride. Looks like it'll see just fine here. It's probably gonna end up being in the way of something, but whatever. Interesting. The accumulator charge is fairly low considering the night just started. Is everything running at full blast? Yeah, that much is. Seems like we're finding ourselves low on fuel oil. Which is basically because this farm is going at full speed. It's all green, so there's nothing wrong with it. Just, we're not quite using all that residual gas, which it's just a byproduct, so it's not that big a deal, but it is a result of mineralized water. Interesting, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's make sure we're not getting rid of any hydrogen unnecessarily. Okay. Getting rid of the chlorine, which we expect, but not the hydrogen. That's good. Well, we still can convert all of this to heat source to dramatically improve our power output, so if we run into power problems, that's something we can do. I kind of wanted to avoid it until we had a bus to build all these things, but I'm getting kind of nervous because that level's going down pretty fast. We shall see. See, this bottom one was just empty. In fact, I probably should just clear all of these warnings out just so I know there's nothing there. But a problem, though, is I'd have to send a wire all the way down there to tell it when to actually send a train. Which sounds kind of annoying, and I'd rather not. Okay, we'll make this an LTN train. It's going to need a depot to park somewhere. The accumulators are going down. Not good. Okay, well. Not sure where to put this train, but how about for now? Right there. Not sure where we're going to want to park this. We probably want to put a depot somewhere for all of these trains that otherwise don't have a good spot to park. I mean, some of these trains are parking just fine, but I don't want to do a repeat of carbon here and have all of this, which seems wrong. Whatever's going on there is not correct. What? Okay. So that didn't work. We need to fix that. So let's create a new one for stone. Provider. Limit trains of 1. And the stack threshold is 1/4 of a train, which is now 60. And it doesn't need any output signals. Then we need one of these little things. Uh-oh. Ran out of power. Well, it's almost daytime, but that's not great. Now we need to find somewhere to put this train. How about here, but 1 square higher? And we'll call this about South Depot, since it's for general use. Connect it to the input. Put it on stone. Say it's depot. And that should work. So now that it's daytime, we get an accumulator charge again? Yep. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll give that its own depot too. Maybe like over here. Uh-oh. It's the middle of the daytime. And the accumulator charge is going down. Well, that's not good. Well, it might help to cease research. To let the factory catch up. Because probably it's just consuming too much energy because it's producing all these resources to fill in a buffer. So perhaps we can save a little bit of electricity by shutting down research for a while. Let's create a little train depot over here. Depot West. Set it to carbon. Set it to depot. Whatever's going on here. Yeah, that was not operating however I had intended. Whatever that was not correct. Otherwise, I think all these wires are doing the right things. We just need to get rid of the carbon depot here. And since this is on the same carbon network, hopefully it should find its way there. If it doesn't, we might have to manually erase its order and send it there. But hopefully that will prevent the craziness that was happening here. Okay, we're like at least halfway through our day, and accumulator charge is increasing, kind of. I really don't want to build a whole bunch of heat sources and whatever by hand, because that took forever before. So I don't want to do it again until we've got at least enough of the bus ready to where it can handle those resources. But if that means shutting down research for a while, then so be it. Really, it's quite awesome that the factory's been going this long without any major issues. If power is the first major issue that it's run into, then I'm okay with that. No path. Okay. Depot West. That should hopefully fix it. Although I did say South Depot and then Depot West. Got those words in the wrong order. Probably should start it with Depot, so it's probably the South Depot that's wrong. Now the request stack threshold is 160, which is the size of a smaller train. So it probably won't fill itself up all the way in the beginning here. And that's okay. And actually, these numbers are all far too small. That these depots need to be filled all the way. Which means the actual numbers are negative 512. So we've got some stone in our inventory. And there's all of the requests. Now that I set those numbers higher. There's the stone request. This train didn't leave. Oh, that one came all the way from the plate depot, I think. It's probably because it didn't include the stone on here, so it sent a train from farther away. It's basically saying no resources are available because look at all those trains filling up right now. I sent a second train down to Stone Load though. Yeah. Better check up on that. It says limit trains is 1. But this train is not being allowed to leave. These weren't set to the correct resource. Still not terribly sure why it sent 2 trains. It could be because I switched the network that they were attached to. Still surprised it sent a train down here considering this was the stone network only. And that was a new network that wasn't configured on these. Let's call this Depot South. Uh-oh, it sent another train. That I don't understand. It created another stone delivery. But it says the provide stack threshold is 60, so why is it sending another train? Okay, we got a bunch of stone coming in here, so we need to configure that. Train ran out of fuel. Well, that's not good. How did that happen? Well, let's see, the carbon train parked over there alright. Oh, wow. Hadn't looked over here in a while. Look at all of those orbs. Probably should collect all of that. What about the other walls? Yeah, kind of a little messy. Seems like it's mostly that wall, though. Why is it sending trains for so little stone? Look at that, we got a backup going now. I think I forgot to hook this up. That might explain why it's been doing all of this. And that one's hooked up. That's what I get for not using a blueprint and building it by hand. This is so silly. They get loaded with 10 stacks and just leave. Well, I think that might have answered the question about what was going on there. So I was sending trains from all parts of the planet because it was on all networks. But now, since it's set to stone, it should only send this train. By the way, how's power? Okay. So the sun's coming up and we made it. So it looks like that was mainly a research thing, and certainly research takes a lot of electricity. So we'll have to upgrade power, but as long as we take it easy, it looks like it's okay. And what's our factory's output on stone? I don't think we're going to need that much stone, but I want to know. So we're actually making 90 a second, but I think the one red belt ought to be okay. It's just a whole lot happened at once. And is still happening. Lots of requests still. Oh, look at that. We ran out of silver. Which means we can convert this to use silver coils and silver wire coils. Okay, so to make this conversion, we're going to have to move these things around a little bit. Why is this thing flashing? Not terribly sure why. I don't think it's really going to matter in a little bit. We need to look at things that are using silver to make plates and the things that are using silver to make wires. The silver wire things need to be kind of cut off here. That's probably the only thing it was used for, because then it's going to keep going on to be used on modules. Of course, it's going to be constantly short. But silver sheet coil, and add it here as well. And then we need to do a conversion. How much are we talking about? Well, it looks like there's some more that are connected there. Silver actually went into a lot here. Or I should say, silver wire went into a lot here. The actual plates themselves, not so much. It looks like the only thing are these two sides. Right here. And it's like 6 per second. We already had it calculated here. Or if we wanted about 6 per second, it's not many. Let's just increase this to 15. So we need 6 machines. And it looks very similar to this. Or you can just grab this and then find a nice safe place to put it. Probably gonna have to do something about those LTN warnings at some point, because sure getting a lot of updates. Uh-oh, I broke something. I guess it's fixed. That did not like being placed by bots. And it's correct to say 0 because it is completely empty right now. So hopefully these are set up correctly. Guess we'll find out when all the resources go to the wrong spots. Lots of requested resources right now. But we can make another new one. This time for the silver wire. And we'll put it in here. Is silver wire available? No, because we never made a train station for it. Well, it's going to be very similar to this. So we just grab this, line up the belts, Probably going to need to move this radar somewhere. Well, we're gonna have to let this run for a while. Oh, that's interesting. We've been using so much copper that we're actually running out. But it actually seems to be a crotinium shortage. Okay. The mine is doing pretty good, it's just the miners aren't fast enough. Well, we do have upgraded miners. Man, look how dark all of that water is. We have been polluting. See, steel production seems really slow too. So we're running out of coal products. Maxed out on sulfuric wastewater. Seems like flow rate is too high. Well, it could be this this valve right here. Is that helping? Kind of. Let's set that to like 50%. Leave more room for the rest of these to drain. Not sure if throwing a bunch of pumps in here will help, but let's give it a shot. No, it seems to just be a flow limitation. Each side might need to have its own setup here. I think we've got it working again. Well, we'll have to let it play out. Well, the coke made it down to iron, so it's running at full speed again. Crotinium is doing its best, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. Well, at least we're building up a little bit of copper, so I guess it's kind of helping. Meanwhile, how are we doing on requests? Well, lots still exist. That's so much silver. Silver coils have yet to make their way up here. Oh, but it looks like it just started. Silver wire coil. Might need to increase that production at some point, but it's going. Factory was built for consistency over time, not necessarily pounding out a bunch of materials all at once. And it's doing a reasonable job at holding out. So we can send the coils in through here. And now we're going to need a bunch of belts that I don't have, but we might be able to gain some, because now we no longer have to send both the copper coil and the silver, but rather just silver. Although we do need to calculate exactly how much silver coil we need here. So 6.6 from coils. Easily done by one machine, and we can do some productivities in there. And it's interesting how by adding 3 of them we max out on speed. So you see how it requires more machines because we're slowing it down. But now that we're maxed out on speed and we can't go any lower, but we still can get extra productivity, it now requires less machines again. And the same number of inserters should work for this. And we need to come in somewhere. It's probably going to be like right there. And we need to do that for every instance of coils here. Wow. We actually kind of have a silicon overload. I was thinking that'll never happen, but clearly, because we're so short on other things, that we are just generating tons of silicon right now. Still, seems like it's doing a pretty good job with what it's got. Now we really only need this copper coil for making basic circuits. Other than that, the tinned coil and the silver coil gets the job done. Which, despite this complexity setting it up, it's actually a lot simpler in the long run. Okay. I think that's most of it. Of course, we'll find out when it all gets mixed up. So we just connect the silver coils and see what happens. Well, that seems to be working so far. Meanwhile, the coils go down here, but they're not really being used for much. Otherwise, though, seems to be working. Until it quickly runs out, of course. But we're starting to see our white circuits again. Meanwhile, all these warehouses filled up nicely. Except for the ones, of course, that are running a little bit behind. So iron and steel and silver. And it's using both the manganese and the silicon to boost steel production. Seems to be working. Well, the coils caught up. You can see now they're just ticking forward. There it goes. So we're not using much. They'll go a long way. And we're making circuits again. Let's go to these walls and check for any orbs or wall damage that might need to be fixed, because it's been a while since I've checked. It's so many orbs. Well, we might be able to help a little bit with this. The damage upgrades seem to be helping. Look at that. Don't even need the rifle. Don't even need the armor with the shield. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Look at all those orbs. Well, that's going to be a lot of free fuel. I don't have anywhere to put any of this. Well, the small alien artifacts only go into the big ones. So we can save some space by smushing them all together. And the regular alien artifacts are the same way. Although it's more energy efficient to burn the small ones, because you lose half the energy value by smushing them into the big size. It's not quite the same with these other artifacts, because you can't burn the small ones, but you can burn the big ones. Probably should do something about these nests. At least the really close ones. Been forever since I've been up here. Oh yeah, there were some missing ghosts. Well, it seems like it's been holding out just fine without them. Oh, we got some nests right here. those guys are stronger. Run away! Well, I guess they can stay for now. Might as well check the other walls while we're at it. It's nice to see the electronic boards are starting to catch up. Let's dump some biter orbs in there. And check the other walls. Okay, it seems pretty much under control here. Wonder how our tree production is doing. I don't know, it seems kind of slow. I mean, all the lights are green though. I think these machines are just a little too fast. But it's keeping up with mud and whatnot, so it's probably doing alright. It's been a while since I've sorted through these biter orbs. Definitely have a lot of the little ones. So I want to keep the big orbs, as well as the little ones. And since we don't have more than 500 of any of the big orbs, I don't see a need to burn them quite yet. But we do have a whole bunch of little ones. So let's burn them. And that's the end of this episode. On the next one, we're going to get started on our new bus. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.